video is going to be a little bit different. You see the thumbnail, you see the title. And I'm only doing this video because I've had a few people reach out to me and ask me, you know what, do you have any tips? Do you have any pointers on starting your own podcast, sports related YouTube channel? And for me personally, I never thought that I would get to a point where somebody would ask me, you know, if you had any pointers on how to start a YouTube channel. I'm still growing myself. I'm still learning, but I feel like it's only right to share, you know, some of the knowledge that I've gained, a lot of the research that I've done to try to make this channel grow. And again, we're not where we want to be, nowhere near it, but we're still trying to grow. And it all depends on your niche. Obviously, the more popular the sports team, the more popular your channel can be. If you're talking about multiple sports and not just one sport, if you're talking about multiple teams, there's ways to grow these channels. There's a lot of big YouTube channels out there that, you know, aren't just one team or someone talking about one team. But for me personally, I love the New York Giants so much, for example, that my whole channel is pretty much based around the New York Giants. But I still feel important enough, or that it is important enough, that when people do ask these questions, you know, to share the knowledge, to share the wealth. And again, I'm not like some big YouTube or anything like that at all. Not at all. But I'll say this. Before I started this channel, I was active on social media. I was always talking about the New York Giants, and I'm just getting to the background a little bit. And, you know, on Twitter every day, in the chats every day, before Spaces even existed. Just, you know, Big Blue Kickoff Live. Shout out to John Schmoke and those guys over there too, man. Calling in on the shows, commenting, hashtagging their shows, and just sharing my point of view, sharing my opinion. And I've seen that a couple other YouTubers have seen my name before, way before I even, you know, started a channel. And shout out to those guys as well. But the very first thing that I would say to somebody is, you gotta go. You gotta get started. You gotta press record is the first thing. And I know those are like simple instructions, but that's the main part. My wife was pushing for me to start something, you know, getting on YouTube, and I just was resistant for a long time. I started this channel in 2022. My wife was pushing me since 2019, possibly. You know, those are years and years that, you know, I just said, nah, that's not me. I'm not built to, you know, for YouTube. That I just like to talk what I talk, you know, on social media, type what I need to type, and, you know, do things like that. But my wife was like, no, you're so passionate, and you've been passionate for so long, even though she doesn't like the New York Giants. You got to get it out there. And then shout out to people like the Shakedown crew. They got their own YouTube channel, Giants Community. Shout out to the Big Blue crew. Shout out to guys like The Entertainer, guys like Bad Dog, Ron Effect, Fisk, Cop Pizzle, Talking Giants. It was a lot of people that I just watched and, you know, would go to consume, you know, that Giants content. But I still felt like my voice, my particular point of view, was not being shared or not being viewed. So that's what birthed the Big Dash Nose channel. So I will always say to you guys, the very first thing you want to do is press record. The second thing I would say, you want to be passionate about what you're doing. There's a lot of people that hop on YouTube just because they think that they're going to make it big, have viral moments, and then, you know, become, you know, a full-time YouTuber, being able to sustain their lifestyle just off of YouTube. And that's not always the case. It's a lot of people that have been grinding for a long time and still not getting the results that they want, but they keep pushing, they keep striving, and shout out to those guys too. But you want to make sure that you're passionate about what you're talking about, because when the money's not coming in or your views are not hitting and you're not in the algorithm, you still want to have fun doing what you're doing. So you want to have the right intentions before you start your sports channel as well. And that's my point of view, because even if nobody tuned into the New York Giants, nobody tuned in to watch me, I would still be talking my New York Giants stuff because I love this team. I love, you know, doing what I'm doing. And again, for me, I still work a 9 to 5. I'm not making enough money to do YouTube full time. But again, this is a hobby, this is a passion, this is what I love to do. So I talk to New York Giants. So make sure that you love whatever subject you're talking about. Another thing that I did that's a little bit different, full transparency here, is when I started thinking about how to build this channel, I thought about, obviously, audio is number one. Number one will always be audio. You have people that never even hop on the screen, never even show their faces, but audio is very, very important. So when you're starting off, you might not be able to get the best mic. I still don't have the best mic, but you want to have some good enough quality. Some of my early videos, you can tell the mic was horrible. In some cases, I was just in my car with the headset. I wasn't on camera yet. So audio is probably, audio is the most important, because that's, if you sound like garbage, and not saying what you're saying is garbage, but if the quality of your sound is garbage, nobody wants to tune in to that. Also, when you're thinking about, when you're thinking about if you want to be on camera, cameras matter, lighting, backgrounds matter if you're doing that. I always wanted the subtle look, the dark, dim look. That's one thing that I was looking for. I wanted, and when I first started, I had like the green screen background. Then I had some other backgrounds that I played with. I like having the official background. That's just me. There's a lot of people out there doing it and successful with the green screen backgrounds. I'm not knocking any of that, but just for me, I like the feel of this. Again, I'm still building up my quote unquote studio and stuff like that. Plan on making some changes too. We'll see what happens. I like how it's looking, but you can always improve. There's always room for improvement and stuff like that. So when it comes to building that channel, you want to know what kind of vibe you want your channel to have. And not saying that you have to stick to something. People evolve all the time. People change all the time. But for me, I always wanted that relaxed, cool, dim mood. I'm not a big yeller. I might complain about the Giants, especially when we're losing, but I was never the rowdy type. I like to get on here and speak my mind calmly, peacefully, make sure that everybody understands. And yeah, that was just my vibe. Your vibe might be different. You might want to be loud. You might want to be aggressive. It's a lot of people out there doing that and are successful doing that as well. You might have a gimmick, you might not. But at the end of the day, you want to stay authentic to yourself, because when you're being real with yourself, when you love what you're talking about, it's fun. Like, I've been doing this for a while. I don't think I've burned out yet talking about the New York Giants. Again, I was doing this prior to having YouTube every day. I'm in the spaces still every day listening to Giants content. If I'm not participating, if I'm at work, I'm still listening to other people talk New York Giants football again, because I just love the New York Giants. That's my team since forever. So if you're talking baseball, basketball, whatever sport you want to talk about, just make sure that you're passionate about it and you're not just doing it because you think it's what people want to hear. You think that you're influenced by the outside too much. Obviously, you like to listen to people. To me, I still go out and search and look for better ways, to run the channel. I look at some of these other content creators that don't have anything to do with sports, just to see what they're doing, the information that they're providing, all to make this channel better. But that's one thing I would like to say to a lot of people that are looking to start a sports YouTube channel. Simple rules: be passionate, stay true to yourself. Obviously, you want the quality to be at least good, not bad, at least good. If you got more money to invest in better mics, better cameras, better backgrounds, better lightings, it's different things like that. So for example, for me, I have right now I have 3 main lights going and a couple of background lights. I got my regular front facing light. I got a light now coming from the top, which is another like top light thing with a softener on it. And then I got two highlighted blue tint RGB lights, in the background. And that's what I do right now. I can set these to all different type of colors and stuff like that. So that's probably the most expensive thing I got right now is just some of the lighting. And another thing, I haven't finished learning about all the equipment that I have. So it takes time. I will say that, depending on, how you do. Some people just turn on the camera. They have nothing in the background and they just talk whatever they want to talk about. For me, I like to set a vibe first and then I talk, what I want to talk about. And for the most part, the channel is growing. People are supporting what I have to say, supporting the channel. Just started the memberships and people are starting to do those too. So again, I'm not where I want to be yet, but I'm just getting, a few questions, actually from a few different people about, how I got started, if I had any pointers for podcasters and stuff like, or up and coming podcasters, or people wanting to become podcasters. And it's funny because I really don't feel like a podcaster, but I guess I fall into that category. But yeah, man, this is just, I guess, the first video like this that I wanted to do, share some of my knowledge as far as being a YouTuber. Nowhere near being a full-time content creator, but just showing, or just giving a little bit of the knowledge that I have right now. And again, don't be afraid to reach out to people too. I still reach out to people. I remember when I was about a year in, shout out to my man Authentic in the Beard. I still feel like they have the best produced, especially when it comes to New York Giants content, Commanders content, because those guys, if you guys don't know Authentic in the Beard, Authentic is a Giants fan. The Beard is a Commanders fan. They known each other their whole lives. They have a great show that they do, talking about the NFC East, talking about the Commanders, talking about the Giants, and those guys do a great job. The graphics, shout out to the graphics department. That's an inside joke. But yeah, shout out to those guys because they do great work. Same thing with the Shakedown crew. They do great work as well. Not as popular, but still those guys put in a lot of work, and they've been grinding for a long time because before they even got on YouTube, they had the podcast going for years. And they were one of the first people that I would, call into their show, get comfortable with my voice and speak to New York Giants in an atmosphere where it's multiple people talking. It's a podcast feel, and gave me some extra confidence to also get on here and do what I do now. But just want to show some love, send some love out to those guys as well. But yeah, man, that's it. That's the first steps, I would say, to becoming a sports content creator. I went over, some of the main goals, or not even the main goals, some of the different things that you should have before you even start. Again, passion. When it comes to sports, passion is number one. You have to be passionate about who you're talking about. You have to be true to yourself when you're talking about it. And guess what? You're not always going to be right. That's one thing about me. I'm not always right, but I'm always true to myself. And if my opinion changes, it's because my opinion changes, not because somebody told me to think a certain way. Stay true to yourself if you're out here repping your teams and wanting to start a sports YouTube channel, I should say. That's the most important. But with that being said, I'm going to get out of here, man. I want to thank everybody for vibing with me. Please like, comment, and subscribe. And from one Giants fan to another, this is Big Dash Knows, Big Blue Nation. And if you're not Big Blue Nation, and if you're just a fan looking at the thumbnail and wanting to start a sports content channel, shout out to you as well. Still hit the like and subscribe button. Let's go.